Once again, I'm Mike King, the General Manager of Entry, and as I say but every year when we sponsor this, no one in this room came to this breakfast to hear sponsor remarks, so I will keep them brief. I want to also thank my co-sponsor, Ben Torrey, from Torrey Mountain Properties in Mount Martin. You'll hear from them in a second. I want to thank the people of Bent Tree for actually sponsoring or co-sponsoring this breakfast and allowing me to do that. We've done this for about 3 or 4 years in a row, and it's always a good thing to do, and we look forward to it. What I want to say this morning is, on behalf of Angie, the chairman of the Chamber Board, Angie Jones, and myself, I want to thank this community and many of you in this room for the great event that many of you attended last Saturday night, and the thousands and thousands of dollars that were contributed to help Angie and I become king and queen of the Mardi Gras and raise dollars. I know just the king and queen voting alone was over $15,000 for hospice, a Rotary, and Knights of Columbus. And Gina, thank you for a wonderful event. This room was twice as big as this one, and it was just as full. And I nervously enjoyed the campaign and raising funds. There's a couple of businesses that stepped up. Jack from Trout's contributed a lot through a raffle. Renaissance Bank had a raffle. Dawn at Carriage House had a dinner and had donations from Elite Jewelry. So I'm always amazed at this community willing to spend talent and treasure for the good of everybody else. And I, for one, I just want to say to this group, and thank you very much. And it's a pleasure to be your representative, and glad we won. Here's Ben.
I live in the mountain, so I'm going to stand down here and tell you that I'm proud for us to be able to co-sponsor this breakfast every March so far. Mike has told you the good things that are going on in Bent Tree and the rest of around the county. Don is going to tell you the good things about what's going on with the market in Bent Tree and Pickens County and elsewhere. And let me say this, if you want to help accelerate that market that Don's going to tell you about improving, if you want to help accelerate it, buy a house today from Don.
That's good. We've done this report for the last few years, so we're just going to kind of flip through it. See if that's good. Doesn't work. We'll just do it. This slide will be, the presentation will be available to anybody that wants to just email me. I'll be glad to send you a copy of it. I normally start with this slide because it's usually the worst news. It's the developed lots, the land parcels, and the commercial property. But actually the good news is they're all doing a little bit better. So that's great that we're seeing some lot sales, some larger parcels of land and commercial property finally beginning to increase the volume of sales in the county. People are always asking what's happening with new home building. Well, the best way to do home building to find out what's going on is just follow the concrete trucks, or you can call the county office and ask for permits. But nationally, you can see that this is from the National Association of Home Builders. You can see there's a huge red mark there around the Atlanta market. And that indicates 77% below the national average for where it used to be. So Atlanta really fell off the map. So the good news is when you start recovering, you also become part of the recovery process. So you can see the Atlanta general market is definitely improving, and that'll move this way over the course of time. Just some visual representations. The blue line is the national average for construction, and the Atlanta market is the red line. And so you can see it's trailing behind. Gainesville, a little bit to the east of us, is just about exactly like Atlanta. Dalton, north of us, is off the map down. They're losing ground. Columbus, down south Atlanta, is doing pretty well. The best in the state appears to be Savannah. They never really got hit. They stayed above the national average all the way through. So back to Pickens County now. So the Currently listed for sale about 402. That's down a little bit from last year. Last year's numbers are in parentheses. That's because we've sold more homes, and so there's just not quite as much inventory out there on the market. That's a good thing. They're all negative numbers, but two of them there are really good numbers. Listed special, that's your short sales, foreclosures, investor owns. They're down 50% from what they were last year, and the currently under contract in that category is down almost 60%, two-thirds, or over 60%. So those are great signs. That means the market's getting healthier. We're running through our foreclosures and short sales, and we're beginning to sell just conventional sales. Everybody always wants to know what's the most expensive homes that's sold in the county. So those are your Big Canoe, Bentry, and the county outside Bentry and Big Canoe. Those are your numbers there. The numbers in the county, and this is all pulled from First Multiple Listing Service, they're down just a little bit, but we had some incredibly bad weather for the first 2 months of the year. So that's probably not bad considering how bad the weather was. If you go back and just do a 12-month from yesterday back, it's still a little bit ahead of the year before, even though we had that bad weather. So that's a good thing. The better news is down here at the bottom. The list price from 12 months ago is up almost $40,000, and the sales price is up about $35,000. And we're selling at about 94% of that. So the market, the values of your home is actually going up. This is kind of hard to see, but the little line on the left is Pickens County, the blue. The big, tall one in the middle is Cherokee, and the little bitty, almost invisible one on the right of each set is Gilmer County. So you can see that this first one is sales volume. This is the number of properties sold. You can see that Cherokee is just running away. Well, that's the most northern suburb of Atlanta that's active right now. And that activity is coming this way. So let me take just a second to say we can't stop it. We can put up speed traps, billboards, but no gates. So it's coming. And one of the things we need to make sure we have is infrastructure to support it. So not only likes to pay taxes, but the SPLOST tax is a good tax because the people from Gilmer County, North Tennessee, and Kentucky, and Ohio, and the people from Atlanta and Peachtree City in Florida, when they drive through Pickens County and they stop and buy gas and groceries, they help pay for your infrastructure. Send them your property bill, your property tax bill, and see if they help you with that. They won't. So that movement's coming this way, and hopefully we'll keep up with the SPLOST tax and keep going. This is just average sales, and you can see this is the price value of the sales of the dollar amount in a bar chart. Same counties. You can see that we really kind of kept up. This goes back to 2011. Values kind of kept up in 2011. We fell a little bit behind in 2012. Notice in 2013, everybody's going up, and we're value-wise, we're just about keeping up with Cherokee County. So that's a good thing as far as, again, your property values. This is the median sales of the original list price. This is probably more of a real or geek slide. This is how much homes were overpriced when they went in. That's why they're not, the lines aren't the same height. But again, we're working through that, and then we're getting a higher percentage now. In Cherokee, they're up over 95%, and in Pickens County, we're right at 90%. So we're getting closer to having the market price right. And this is how long a house was on the market. Again, we're kind of a long time, some of them 120 days to get sold, and you can see the time is coming down in Cherokee, and it's still kind of high in Pickens and in Gilmer. So this is the data for Big Canoe. Again, they didn't sell quite as many in the first part of the year, but the weather was really bad. But if you add their pending sales to what they sold last year, they'd actually be ahead. So that number's not bad at all. And if you look at the year-to-date for 12 months, it's a plus of 31. That's up 38%. So their market on that side of the mountain is definitely improving. And again, values are increasing. Their sales price is up about $30,000 on the homes that sold last year. That's all good. Over on the Bentry side, obviously just pretty much smaller community, not as many sales. Again, if you add the actual sales for the first 2 months with the pending, it would be more than sold in this period last time. So they're still a little ahead. and the number of sales overall is up a little bit for the 12-month period. Again, best news is probably the fact that the average sales price is up about $20,000 per house in that community. During the year, I get calls from banks and mortgage companies saying, can you give me current market information? And I normally have to go in and try to gin that up. I'm happy to say that I now have access to a monthly report that'll give you all the data on exactly what happened in the county each month, and I get it about 10 days after the end of the month. If you'll send me an email, I'll be glad to give you a copy of that at any time. One of the benefits of getting up here and having a blue pulpit is you get to talk about things that are important to you, so I'm going to take just a second and tell you that Rotary meets in this room every Wednesday at noon, and it's business professionals, business owners, community leaders, nonprofit leaders, just like you. And you may think that you don't need Rotary, but Rotary needs you to help do the things that it does worldwide, like in polio and helping the local community. And one of the things we do in the local community is the First Foundation for Childhood Literacy, and coming up in April, the First Foundation is going to have their jail in May. And I'm going to be sitting out in front of the courthouse, and I really don't want to wear this any longer than I have to. So remember, a lot of people are going to ask you for donations. Just think back to the day I asked you first.